Welcome back to the FanSpeak Network and another episode of NBA Betting Card Live. I am, of course, joined every Tuesday by Astaire and Tyler Hicks to break down the NBA slate. We've got a 5-game slate to talk through tonight, and I'm very excited to do that. I apologize for the delay. I was making them talk about NFL basketball, which I am obsessed with, and these guys are in the streets too, so we're talking about playoff basketball, advanced race, and all that good stuff. So thanks for bearing with us. When you come in, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the FanSpeak Network, and of course, check out all their content on fanspeak.com. You go to Sports Betting tab, you can see their NBA treasure map. And I hope you followed them last night because they were a pristine 4-0. Record is good, a little heater going on. Let's keep it going. So, Spread, tell me how it's been going, how wonderful last night was, and how you're feeling about tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So, of course, I hope you're following over there. While I break this down, Meg, do you want to tweet this out? I don't have anything in my mentions, so.
Oh, I tweeted. Tweet. Yeah, I tweeted it right before. I quote retweeted Tyler's.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Let me make sure it went through. Tyler, while we're looking at that, tell me how you felt about last night and how you're feeling about tonight.
No, it was fun last night. I mean, got all 4 bets home. The couple of spots we talked about that we ended up not betting was the Heat. I think that they end up winning by spread too. We stayed away from that one.
Yeah.
We should have probably ended up pulling the trigger on Portland, but in the end, I'd rather leave a winner on the board and sweep the board than end up picking the loser. So I'll take 4-0 instead of 5-0. But in the end, it was a good night. Record's starting to look better. We're picking it back up. And I think we're finding our stride now.
I like it. Find the stride. 4-0. Could have been 5-0. I absolutely love that. Spread, did you see it in the Twitter mentions yet? I just
found
Tyler.
it right now. So
okay,
it's gotten,
perfect.
Yeah, and we can start talking about this. The one thing that I took away from all this is that the more these teams rest, the more you want to take the favorites.
Oh, I agree there, definitely.
I feel like a lot of times, Tyler, we're betting the schedule, and we're going to be back to betting the schedule this week because there's already some funky spots tonight and, of course, tomorrow. But when these teams are full strength, boy, if they had a balanced schedule like the NFL, I mean, well, the Pistons are already doing it, but like the Wizards, Pistons, and Spurs, I mean, they might never win at all without some of those schedule wins that they're getting. So that was my main takeaway. When there's extended rest, and this probably won't apply again until, and I don't know if it works because the next time it'll apply is they'll get Christmas Eve off, but that's an interesting time. Mm-hmm. And then isn't there they play New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, huh, Tyler?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a crazy sports week with NBA and NFL and college bowl
but just keep that in mind coming in and out of the All-Star break, even though that's kind of funky too. But something to keep in mind also for next year. I'm sad the tournament's over. Everything about the tournament except for the result was awesome.
Yeah, except for the result,
yeah. But it was great. I really liked it a lot.
Well, good. All right. Well, again, I'm glad you guys, the record's doing well. You're hitting your stride, coming off a 4-0 night. I know I'm telling you tonight. So let's get into it. And I apologize. We're a little earlier today. Usually, again, this show's every Tuesday at 3, talking NBA, Thursday at 3, talking NFL. Had to be a little earlier just with scheduling stuff today. So thank you for bearing with us whenever you are able to watch. We appreciate it. So let's go through game by game. Get your guys' favorite bets here. First game, we have Los Angeles Lakers at Dallas Mavericks. Lakers are favored by 2.5. Total is 232.5. Coming off the tournament, is anybody out? Is everybody a full go in this one, Spread? And break this one down for me.
No, it is the Lakers, so we have to play that game once again. AD is the main one that I'm monitoring. They could be sitting here. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Jared Vanderbilt, all game time decisions. Gabe Vincent still out, and Jordan Hood, Shafino still out. On the other side, however, the Mavericks aren't 100% either, as I see Tim Hardaway, Kyrie Irving, Derek Jones, and this is a new one, Tyler, because he's been out for a little while. Grant Williams has actually improved to game time decision. That could help the team if he were able to come back. Maxi Kleber looks like he's not going to play. He's doubtful. Josh Green is out. This is an interesting game. So, Tyler, one thing I noted yesterday I wanted to keep an eye on, and we stayed away from the games, was how the teams played after being in Vegas.
Only
And
one
I'm glad
fared
we
well.
stayed. What's up?
Only one fared well, and the only reason they did well was because the opposing team's best player was out.
Didn't they both? Pacers and New Orleans did well, didn't they?
I mean, the Pacers won the game, but like a 131 to 123 win over a Pistons team that hasn't won in a month, like you expect them to blow them out. That spread was 7.5. They barely covered it. The Pelicans,
but they still covered. I mean, I thought they could have lost straight up.
They still covered, but like watching the game, they never really pulled away. Like that game was within 10 points all game. Maybe they got it up to 12 to 13 at one point, but it was never out of striking distance for Detroit. The Pelicans were the only team that like walked on the floor and handled the Timberwolves, but that was without Ant Edwards. The Bucks spent time in Vegas. They went to overtime with the Bulls. The Bulls can't play basketball whatsoever right now. Who's another team that was there that played yesterday?
That's it. There's only 3.
Okay, yeah. So you had one overtime, one in an outlier spot, and the other team couldn't pull away from the worst team in the league.
Okay, maybe I'm taking too much from that Pelicans win, and probably because I thought that they would be the ones most affected.
But they had
I've called them an immature team before,
but they also had the underlying motivational spot. I want to call it because it's like you lost in Vegas, so it's like we want to fade you off the Vegas. But all we heard since they lost in Vegas is Zion's fat and he's lazy and this and that.
I'm guilty. I said that.
He walked out on the floor yesterday. He missed 4 shots and put up 36 points. He basically said, "Yeah, I'm fat, but I can still dominate this game." So I think that's what that was yesterday. That was their little like.
But who did they play?
The Timberwolves.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's a good win.
Yeah, but again, it was without Ant Edwards, so I think you had underlying motivation.
But still, you would think with those Timberwolves bigs, that would be a tougher spot for Zion, right?
Yeah. I
still can't believe he no-showed that tournament game. I'm so disappointed. After he knocked out the Kings, oh my gosh. All right, Tyler. Well, my projections have this as an even game going over, but I don't know if I properly accounted for all these people being missing. What do you think here? I have it at 118 to 118.
I think it's Dallas or pass.
Okay.
Really?
I can't back the Lakers. You've seen it in those tournament games. They wanted it. They got it.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask if there was going to be any hangover literally from
celebrating.
That. Yeah.
This is the spot where they come out flat. AD was nursing that groin injury on the bench in that championship game and went back out there. I think this could be a spot you see him sit. LeBron could even take a day off too, but I think he does play. In the end, I think Dallas just wills their way to a win here. No AD on the floor for LA. I'm going to wait until closer to tip-off and make sure we don't get some kind of Luka Q tag or anything with them playing yesterday. So wait until closer to tip-off, but I'll probably be on Dallas.
Okay. If we jump on Dallas, should we just take the first half?
We could do that, yeah.
I like that.
What do you think of the total? I have it 2 points over. Not really enough to make it an auto edge, but if we saw something... anything, I would think this game would be more likely to go under if it goes by your script and they're hung over.
Right.
Yeah, I'd lean under. It's like 4 of the last 5 for the Lakers have won under. What's this trend? 4 of the last 5 in this matchup have won under. Dallas with no Kyrie is going to slow it down because Luka's just going to want to pound the rock. The Lakers on the other side could slow it down too, but if AD's out, that speeds it up a little bit on their end. So I probably just stay away from the total altogether.
Final thing I need to note, Dallas is 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 against the Lakers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Another thing in the Dallas corner then. All right. Then we will move on to the next game at 7:40 Eastern. We have Cleveland Cavaliers at Boston Celtics. Celtics favored by 11. Total is 224. That's a big spread. Are we missing players or does that sound right to you, spread?
That's what I thought too. I did the projections. I came out to a 9-point win for the Celtics. I thought, let me jump into some of this, Tyler. Hasn't the Cavaliers been playing better as of late? And I'm wondering,
that's why it sounds like a big spread to me.
They haven't been playing better, but it's looking like LeVert's got a Q tag, Mobley's got a Q tag, Ty Jerome's still out, and those 2 guys haven't played either. So those Q tags could turn into those 2 guys still being out. They're not a very deep team. You take Mobley off the floor, that probably would plug LeVert into the starting lineup. You take LeVert out also. Now you're throwing in just random guys off the bench, and that's just not a mixture for success against a Boston team.
And one thing that we have to note here, we talked about betting the schedule earlier. Cleveland had that loss to Orlando last night, which we did bet. Boston's been off since the 8th.
Yeah, wasn't that game in Orlando also?
Yeah, so they had to fly out.
They had to fly all the way up to Boston. Yeah.
So is it Boston or pass for you guys then?
No, it's still Cleveland or pass for me.
Oh, it is Cleveland or pass for you. Okay, gotcha.
What do you think, Tyler?
I'm on the Boston side spread.
You think they win by double digits?
Yes, flying up from Orlando. It's a weird matchup. They could defend the two guys for Cleveland that can actually score the ball very well. They have Drew Holiday. They could throw at one of the guards. Derek White could go at the other one. If those guys start to get torched, you have the length in Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to go at the Mitchells and the Garlands. Outside of those guys, I'm not afraid of anyone scoring the ball on that team. So it's like they could slow them down. I'm not afraid of this Cavs team at all. I think Boston could wipe the floor with them right here.
Yeah, we're probably not going to get here because I don't want to lay 10.5 with Boston.
I don't want to lay it, but I can't pull the trigger on the Cavs. I'll say that.
And that's fine too, because I don't think 9 is a big enough edge, right?
Yeah.
Say if we had Boston by 6 or 7, I think I'd be pounding the table for this a little more.
And the other thing is too, is like, I don't see any Boston guys on this injury report. Do you? I got nothing. So you're going to send out the fully healthy best overall unit in the entire league.
Right. Coming off rest, and
never pass for me.
Yeah. Well, so it sounds like there's no consensus that this is going to be a X.
I don't think this is going to be a play, Tyler. Looking at the total, I projected this at 223.5 on a 224. So any interest in the total here for you, Tyler?
No, but I wouldn't mind playing a Boston team total over 117.5.
We have conflicting trends here. Cleveland's gone under in 6 of the last 7 games, but these two teams have gone over 4 of the last 5 times they've matched up. I think this is a fine first day away.
Yeah.
It's also
anything, Tyler. So let's say we were doing the live betting show tonight. I would be hoping that Boston jumped out to a lead, and I'd try to be getting Cleveland at like 15 or 16. I actually think that's plausible.
This is where like we are completely opposite on this game because I'd be wanting it to go the other way. I'd be wanting Boston to maybe hit the floor flat after coming out of Vegas. Cleveland goes up by 5 to 10 points early. You get Boston at like -6, and it's like click, and they win the game by double digits.
But they didn't go to Vegas.
They played Indiana in the first round.
Yeah, that's not Vegas. It's like the exact opposite.
I thought that first round of the knockout phase was Vegas.
No, it was in Indiana.
Oh, okay. That was Milwaukee. They played in Vegas, and okay, I had them mixed up.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Indiana, Meg?
Indiana? No, I don't believe I have been to Indiana. No.
Maybe I'm just assuming, but I don't think the nightlife is equal to Vegas.
I have been to Vegas, and I'm taking a wild guess that the nightlife is not the same in Indiana as Vegas. So yeah, that's probably a fair assumption. All right, so this is kind of a stay away for you guys. Tonight we've got Denver Nuggets at Chicago Bulls. Denver's favored by 7.5. I'm seeing a 220 total. So spread, break this one down for me. Tell me what you like.
All right. The projections for this game, I have the Nuggets winning by 6. But at the same time, Tyler, there's no way that we're going to go ahead and take Chicago right now. Would you agree? Zach LaVine's out. Does that help the team, though? Because maybe this team is starting to come together without him. They're 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. The total's gone over in 7 of their last 8 games. Denver has been beating Chicago. They're 11-3 straight up in their last 14 against Chicago, 5-1 straight up in their last 6 trips to Chicago. But they haven't necessarily been covering. And they put up a big spread tonight here, Tyler. What do you think? With LaVine out, I guess the Bulls are tempting. But my guess is you're not going to want to go against the defending champs starting to come together after they got a nice cover against the Atlanta Hawks for us last night.
Yeah, no chance I'm betting the Bulls after they were playing an overtime game last night in Milwaukee, which it's not.
Oh, great point.
It's not the farthest distance away, but then you take a look at the box score. I see 45 minutes, 42, 41, 39, 26. 29.
Not only that, Milwaukee's the combination of physical and fast.
Yeah, it's like
they run up and down the floor, but they kind of bang you too.
Yeah, they're
not like the Pacers that just run.
Yeah, it's a bad spot. It's Denver. It's Denver or pass for me. I think Jokic just absolutely mauls Vucevic. He tends to do that when he plays these other foreign bigs, like when he gets Nurkic and he gets for instance, like when they played yesterday, they played the Hawks. Bogdanovic, also Serbian. They play on the Serbian team together. I don't think I've ever seen that guy make that many threes in a game, spread. He dropped 40 points and had like 12 threes in that game. Those guys were going at it.
Bogdan?
Yeah. Go back and look at that box score. He was just hucking.
You know, it's so funny, Tyler. I was planning on watching NBA last night. So, like I've been working and doing all my tape study after in the evening when the games are decided. And I found that personally helped me because I think you mentioned it yesterday, Tyler. I can get a little emotional.
Yeah.
Right. And I was planning on watching NBA. I have 3 games on my DVR still. But after Will Levis came back, I said, I got to see this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to see that.
Enjoy and revel in it. And it's so fun knowing what's coming because I'm just watching. Oh, the Titans can't do anything. Oh, the Titans can't do anything. But I know what's coming next, right?
Right. Yeah.
I ended up not watching as much as I should have on the NBA. So thank you for helping me. And you can see how we work as a team here, Meg, especially in the NBA. And in tennis, you have to do this too. In football, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect the people that are handicapping it to be able to watch most of the games. You get that Game Pass, you can mash through all these games on Tuesday or Wednesday,
right?
Or at least the ones that you want to see,
right?
And you can watch most of the plays,
right?
You can't do that in NBA, and you can't do that in tennis. So you need to be networking,
exactly,
and that's where people's favorite teams come in. People send me questions about the Kings all the time,
right?
And I'm like, oh well, hey, I know this is what's saying on Twitter, but on local radio, here's what the guys really connected to the team.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're seeing way more boots on the ground. And but you guys are a great team and you help with each other's with the projections and just eyes on the games. And that makes a ton of sense. So,
yeah, but I'm happy for Bogdanovic. He's a former King and I've always liked him.
So yeah, he just pulling up the box score now, spread. He scored 40, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 14 for 24 from the field and he was 10 for 17 from 3.
17-3.
He was letting them fly, but
really letting them fly.
He's international.
Did Zach LaVine have a box score earlier where he scored more than 50 points with 0 assists?
I think so, yeah. That's the Zach LaVine special. But back to this game, though. I mean, these foreign guys, they do get up for these matchups against each other. And Vucevic is running on an empty gas tank after playing all those minutes last night. Yeah, the Nuggets played yesterday in Atlanta, but Atlanta plays no defense. And it's not very hard
either.
It's not very hard to guard a guy like Clint Capella who has like 2 offensive moves. So Jokic didn't have a hard night. He only played 36 minutes. The other starters played 30, 29, 29, and 26. Mike Malone managed that game knowing it was a back-to-back. So you're going to get those guys out there tonight. Maybe Murray sits because he tweaked his ankle, but even at that point, I'm not all that worried because Reggie Jackson steps in. He could score the ball. And Strauver off the bench looked really good yesterday. So it's Denver a pass for me. I think they smash them. I'm betting the Jokic triple-double at plus 150. I think it's the spot he smashes them.
I think that's the best way to approach this game. I'll be honest, Tyler, as much as we've talked about Chicago here, I still don't want to lay 7.5 with Denver. This team
so you like the triple-double. You still like the triple.
Yeah, I think you attack this game through props.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a ton of sense.
Jokic has not been that MVP guy, and I know I found it last night. But this team is still struggling, and
there's a stat spread when you pull up Basketball Monster. I don't know exactly what this stat is, but it's like it puts the value on the players and it lists them across the league. And the list the last 3 years has been like Jokic and Embiid at the top with Luka hanging around, and this list has basically been the MVP voting. The guy sitting at the top of this list is ahead by a decent margin, and he's still 8-1 to win MVP. His team's a second in the Western Conference. If SGA keeps playing like this and his team keeps playing good, he might just fall into this award. What do you think of that take?
For which award?
MVP.
Yeah.
I can see SGA. It's all about health with him. If he stays healthy, he's averaging 30-something a game. His team's second in the conference.
I mean, okay, let's be fair. Jokic is going to have to dip and play for that to happen.
But he is.
I feel like it's Jokic to lose unless he has a significant statistical decrease.
I don't think you need a significant decrease. Like, you give a slight dip and you give those guys a reason to go away from you voting, they're going to go away. Like, I get it. They kind of went away from them and robbed them last year, but they're still going to be the guys that don't want to vote for them again. They're going to look for a reason to find someone else.
Well, if they're looking for a reason, you look at SGA's defensive stats, and they're just unbelievable. He's head and shoulders above every single guard when it comes to opponent's field goal percentage, tips, deflections. So yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, it's just that the stat says value. It just says value on these players. As of right now, Embiid is second at 0.95. Halliburton's third at 0.89. Jokic is 0.82 at fourth. SGA is a 1.28. So that is miles ahead of the guy in second.
It's because the defensive metrics are just unbelievable.
And I don't think that the betting market is caught up to that when it comes to the awards.
Yeah, like on King's Twitter last night after Fox had a good night, someone was saying, it's like a King's radio host, right?
Yeah.
Fox but again, is the best two-way player in the league. And even Kings fans are like,
we could all click SGA
buddy
right now, and he could miss the next 25 games because that's how I said we could all click SGA's MVP right now and think it's like a great bet. And the dude could miss the next 25 games with an injury we never even seen coming because of how his health's been. But it's a risky bet, but I think he's going to be there in the end.
Yeah, well, mine. I see you guys in the chat. What's up, Right Cape? And Clyde says Luka might be in the MVP Kano. Yeah, he might. I mean, they're in third place right now. He's definitely a top 5 contender in another one.
I missed the chat, so I apologize. Thank you for spotting that spread. I again, this whole basketball stuff has thrown me off. I had a morning show. I had a basketball show with Steve, and so now I'm jumping in with you guys, and we're wrapping up the NBA. But yeah, thank you guys for Rye Cape, for Clyde, for joining us. So yes, we will get to now our 4th game because we got 2 more later on, 10 Eastern. We've got Golden State at Phoenix. Phoenix is favored by 3.5. We got a total of 234.5. So spread, what are you thinking about this game? What do you like in this game?
This is another one where we are constricted by the injury report as Kevin Durant is a game time decision. Of course, that would be a major storyline of this game with this playing against this former team. Now, they do this quite often now. But still, you got to think that they would be up for that. Should Bradley Beal be back in the lineup tonight, Tyler? No. That would be his first game back. Am I correct?
Second. He's played one for them already.
How did he do in the first one?
He did all right. I mean, for a first game back, he did all right.
Okay. So we'd expect him to be a little more effective. I'm not high on the Warriors right now at all. They've definitely had a lot of problems, and you could see some of the frustrations coming out. And we didn't cover that game, though, did we, Tyler? We lost that Thunder game. I was pissed.
Friday night. Did you see the final sequence of events? Like they're hucking
because they just let them do a layup, right?
Yeah, none of them are falling. Then somebody just grabbed the ball, and it was like, I'm just going to throw it in the hoop. And it was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch.
But regardless, if you listen to the post-game interviews, there's a lot of turmoil on that team right now. And Steph's getting frustrated. I know Kerr's frustrated as well. Andrew Wiggins slammed his finger in a car door. So he hasn't been 100%. That's affected his shooting. And we've talked about Clay's limitations at this point here. Tyler, I like the Suns here, but I want Durant to play. And I'm a big superstar subtraction guy, but still. I have this game projected even, which surprised me. And that's because the Warriors are actually better on the road than they are at home, which is kind of weird when we're looking at these against the spread standings. At home this year, right? Remember we used to love the Warriors at home, Tyler? They're 1-9-1 against the spread, but they're 8-3 against the spread on the road. So I think that's why my numbers have this pretty even. When we look at how the Suns have performed against the number at home, it's not necessarily that impressive either, I believe. Yeah, they're 4-7 at home. So when you're using the numbers that are going to sort by your home road splits, that's why I think that the Warriors are getting a boost. However, just the way that these teams are playing right now and knowing about kind of some of that turmoil going on with the Warriors, Suns are past for me, Tyler, but I think we got to wait on KD.
No, I don't think you gotta wait. He's
I
gonna
was gonna
play.
say Rycave is with you. He's on Suns -3, so you're with him.
It's been a week since he's played. That Q tag's been on him for 7 days.
Uh-huh.
They announced before that they were gonna play all 3 of these guys this day. He's gonna play. I'm not worried about that Q tag. The -3 will become -5. They're gonna wipe the floor with this Golden State team. Just take the Suns. It's easy.
All right. Rycave says, let's cash some tickets, guys. So is that going to be an official play on the sheet?
More than likely, yeah.
I'm not forcing you to. You guys will, I know, talk after the show. Check out
okay, don't spread me, Meg. Don't make me pull a trigger.
I'm not. I was gonna say no pressure. I'm not forcing you. You gotta, let the process, go through the whole process, and then it'll be on fanspeak.com, sports betting tab. Check out the NBA treasure map for the official plays. I won't force you. All right. So leaning there. Any other thoughts for this game before we wrap up for our final game of the evening?
Phoenix did 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 at home against Golden State, and they beat Golden State 6 out of the last 7 times they played straight up. Wow. That's including games in Chase.
Okay, that helps. What you guys were already kind of saying. All right, our last game on the slate, we've got your Sacramento Kings at Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers are favored by 3.5. Total is 235.5. So spread. What do you think about your Kings tonight?
This Clippers team is coming together. Although they did have was that game went to overtime last night.
That was last night, right? Yeah.
And they lost in overtime to Portland, right?
I don't think they lost.
Did they get the win?
I'm pretty sure it went to overtime.
They got the win. I'm not even sure if it went to overtime. I think the only game that went to overtime was the Bucks game.
All right, let me look that up.
Be wrong.
No, yeah, we started a little earlier than usual today.
Yeah, that's on me. Scheduling stuff. Sorry, guys.
No, they kind of we do this, right? That we kind of talk through stuff. So they get a little bit more of that. Last night's game was
132 to 127.
Was it OT though?
No.
Okay. And they did get the win, but Portland covered. Cape likes the under, tired legs in the second half. My projections like the under as well. It's tough to play an under in a Kings game now. Yeah. But I have this game at 230.5 on a 234. I have the Clippers winning by 3.5 points. The line is -3 right now. But Tyler, we match up pretty well against the Clips. We're 4-1 against the spread in our last 5 trips to LA. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good spot for them to bounce back, pick up one of their 4 losses that they've had in the last couple games. And you just look at the Kings schedule.
Who's they?
The Kings.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you look at their schedule. It's 3. They have 4 losses in their last 10. 3 of them come to the same team, the Pelicans, a big physical team that's going to beat them up down low. It's got big guys. That's not what the Clippers are. The Clippers got Kawhi, PG. They're going to want to run and gun. They got James Harden that's going to want to dish the ball out. Sabonis is going to feast on the inside. And that other loss they had came against the Clippers. I think it's a spot where they get that loss back and they come out and they pound the Clippers right here. They're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 against them. That was the only loss. I think it's a spot they bounce back and win. I do not trust a older Clippers team on a back-to-back after a close game with a Portland team like that. I'd rather trust a younger Kings team that's going to push the pace and maybe tire these older guys out on the floor in the end.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys, I'm not going to pressure you to give any official plays, but sounds like you kind of like the Kings, kind of like the under in this one. Any other props that you're interested in?
I don't think we're going to get that on the under. It's hard to bet. It's hard to bet. The Kings have gone over in 6 of the last 7 games, and they're an over team. And I also think, and I don't do this, but knowing those games with Davion Mitchell so messed up the numbers. We're putting up like 99. And normally we put up like 120. And I was realizing why I'm getting unders more often than usual because we're still so early in the season.
Yeah.
199, 188, right? One night where you just don't score just skews you so much. Then unless you play the Pacers, right, and you have like that 150 in the thing, it's hard to get back there on the even. So that's one flaw of the model right now. But I'm not going to do anything about it. I think it corrects by Christmas.
Sure.
We just need a little more in there on the sample size, and it'll be fine there. But so I don't trust the totals on the projections as much as I do the sides. And the total has gone over 6 the last time last 7 times the Kings played.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, again, check out all their plays on fanspeak.com. All the official plays at the NBA treasure map under the sports betting tab. One last question. Any other props you like? Rye Cape likes Kawhi over 3.5 assists. Any other props in this game since it could be a close one?
Nothing I've picked up on yet. I do like the Kings, so I like that Sabonis double-double and win at plus 160 because you really never see that at plus money when they're favored.
Right.
Just another touch on the under.
We're getting plus 3.
I said when they are favored, you never get that.
It's a 27 to a plus 160. That shows you how much they expect him to get a double-double, right?
Yeah.
Because when they're favored, he's that exact performance double is like minus 300. So
right.
And then just to touch back in on the under, and while we're not going to get there, their last 3 matchups combined for an average of 284.33 points.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that one game skew it though?
They had a $176 to a $175.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other game, 128 to 127, that's over. 131 to 117, that's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I think we have to stay away from it.
Okay.
I think Rye's got a good idea. If you think of the tired legs in the second half, though, I would just bet that, assuming you're going to be in front of your computer or watching the game, or you have access to
Let them run up the score first, and then get a better number.
Yeah, and then bet the live second half under.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if they put up, like 127 or something in the first half, they're probably only going to post like a 110 or 115 because they still keep them pretty close to the final number.
Gotcha.
And you could get a real good opportunity there.
That makes a ton of sense. Well, unfortunately, I have to get out of here soon. My schedule, I have to get to an appointment. But quick final thoughts, spread, and then I'll go to Tyler before we get out of here. Quick final thoughts for tonight.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give out my best bet. Tyler's more confident in my favorite team than me, but you know how that goes. So I'll take the Suns minus 3.5 best bet for the day.
Okay, best bet for the day. Thank you. I said to closing, but what am I talking about? So you guys best bet of the game.
We got it. Final thoughts, best bets. We know.
Final thoughts, best bets. You got the Suns minus 3. Tyler, what's your best bet of the day?
Yeah, it's gonna be that Sabonis double and win at
Love
plus
it.
160.
Love
Gotta
it.
take the shot on that.
Okay.
Tyler, Lakers took a little money while we're doing the show.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if AD's got rolled in.
Well, these guys will be talking after we get off the show. They'll be finalizing everything. So again, check out everything on fanspeak.com. We appreciate you joining us. For Spread, for Tyler, I'm Meg, and we will see you on Thursday.